Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Um, I just want to start out to say I'm trying to make a few adjustments to my settings and everything, so please forgive me on that. I hope that they will improve the quality of things for people to come. To start out with, we're gonna see if my chat works. Don't know if anybody's there, but at least I should be able to see it. So we will go with just a simple hello. Uh, if it will actually send on that. And let's see if we can go ahead and pull up an article to start with. Um, let's see if this is the one I wanted to pull up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure I get the right thing. I don't know if anybody wants to suggest anything right now, but that would be nice. Let's go over Kevin Smith. Now, before we get started into this, not a particular fan of Kevin Smith. He's done a few okay things, but in many ways he's way overrated, and in my opinion, and yeah, unfortunately, it's much to everybody's detriment. So let's see if I can get my screen to kick over. Um, that should work. See if it even looks okay. I hope it does because you know I can see my chat sort of, but I can't really see my video right now. I hope the image is big enough. And well, no, got to work. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, this article's on Bounding into Comics. We're going with it's written by J.B. Augustine. Kevin Smith weighs in on the recent cancellation of HBO Max's Latina-led Batgirl movie. Describes it as an incredibly bad look for Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, don't want to be too cruel on this, but considering some of the lackluster stuff he's done recently, I don't think he really has any room to talk about of incredibly bad look. Some more recent comments and stuff, but we'll go into it. Director and comic book writer Kevin Smith added his voice to the reactions lambasting Warner Brothers Discovery's cancellation of the Batgirl movie meant for HBO Max or possibly a theater run. Smith weighed in on the Dead DC project during an interview on the YouTube show Hollywood Babylon, where he called the move an incredibly bad look for a movie with a rising Latina star and other attributes of diversity. Before we go any further, the the guy's trying to virtue signal and everything. Oh boy, look at me, how I'm wanting to focus on details like a person's ethnicity or how diverse something is, and he completely ignores the fact that test screening was so horrible, so absolutely god awful, that the people in charge at Warner Brothers Discovery, after test screening, decided to vault it. They yeeted the thing out of existence because it tested so poorly. And quite frankly, as much as people are saying, well, you already spent all the, some are saying close to $100 million on this project, and I feel bad for the actress and those involved in it. I really wanted to see Michael Keaton in the Batsuit again until the images were released, and oh boy, that was terrible. I'll see if I can pull them up in a little while. But, it's the damage that the brand would take if the movie was that bad, considering the absolute crap that that have been released from most of these Hollywood studios in recent years. It must have been absolutely awful, but for the laughs, I'd want to see it, but I don't think I'd pay to see it. I didn't really have any real interest in it. I had not really heard much on it other than they were talking about Michael Keaton was going to be in it, and that's all something with Brendan Fraser. And then the last stream I did, I was talking a little bit about they killed it. But well, let's continue on with Kevin Smith. It's an incredibly bad look to cancel a Latina fat girl movie, he said. I don't give an ass if the movie was absolute effing dog, crap. I guarantee you that it wasn't. Oh, you saw it, Mr. Smith? Oh, please enlighten us. Tell us the great details of this movie. His questionable taste aside, Smith said, the two directors who directed that movie did a couple of episodes of Miss Marvel. I not going into that one because I hadn't even watched it. Didn't care. It didn't look like anything that particularly interested me. I never was interested in Miss Marvel as in a comic book character, and apparently a lot of people weren't. So why would I care about that? And it was a wonderful effing show. They had more money to do Batgirl than they did to do an episode of Miss Marvel and stuff. And look, everybody knows this guy's just trying to virtue signal his way into being the last on the chopping block before the hordes of very people that he's pandering to come descend down upon him and tear him apart for just existing, because that's how they work. Eventually they will cannibalize. And considering that's the only people he has left, I guess I could see his pandering, because Masters of the Universe was absolutely terrible. Now, and quite frankly, the guy has no concept of common sense. We'll put it that way. Was it rough how the CEO killed things off? Yeah, that was wow. But still, I'm getting really tired of Kevin Smith virtue signaling him. Will Wheaton just needs to go away because, quite frankly, the only thing he's really known for is playing Wesley Crusher on Next Generation and an annoying scientist on Eureka. But quite frankly, I've never really seen him do anything good. I mean, the show improved the moment he was gone on Star Trek Next Generation. So ever wonder why they aren't even dragging him into the Picard series? But anyways, let's see if I can switch this back, and we'll look up, see if there's another thing to go over that maybe might be of interest. I hate to say it, I'm kind of buying a little bit of time until I can get something to load up real quick. I think I found a little bit of news on an upcoming Alien series. So, let's see. You know what? We're gonna go over something that's kind of amusing to me. And I think Amazon's about to take a heck of a hit for it. Just like a lot of people, and they deserve to if you look at a lot of the comment sections on their trailers. Here we go. Despite Lord of the Rings of Power, including hobbits, J.R.R. Tolkien made it clear they were not in the Second Age. This is an article by John F. Trent, also in Bounty and Comics. You can see there. Lord of the Rings of Power will be including hobbits. Despite J.R.R. Tolkien making it very clear that they did not appear until the Third Age, following the events that the Rings of Power is expected to cover. Showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay attempted to explain this problem away in an appearance in Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. During the question and answer portion of his appearance, he was asked, "Why is there a Hobbit story in the Second Age?" Payne replied, "Well, it's actually technically not a Hobbit story, it's a Harfoot story." And so Tolkien doesn't say anything about Harfoots not having done anything amazing in the Second Age. He sees it as hobbits before the Third Age didn't do anything impressive, so we felt we had license there to tell a good Harfoot story. His fellow showrunner, Patrick McKay, then added, "It was really important to us from minute one that what makes Tolkien's tone unique and special is the blend of all these creatures and what each of them bring to Middle-earth and what each of them represent. The underdogs and the smallest people being able to do great deeds. We could not imagine a version of this show that didn't have a version of that in some form. We went deep into the text to find it, and we think there's a beautiful, wonderful story there that you guys are really going to love." Yeah. Let me see if I can... hopefully this gets to it, because I don't want to... I'd rather people come to Bounty in the Comics than actually read the full article. Let's see. Earlier in the panel, Payne also detailed that the Harfoots were ancestors of hobbits rather than a breed of hobbit. He said, "But Tolkien gave us all these amazing clues about cultures in the Second Age concerning hobbits." He talks about the ancestors of hobbits where there's Stores, Fallowhides, and Harfoots. And he gives us just a couple of tantalizing paragraphs about Harfoots. But then you take those clues in there and say, cool, what kind of society would... He talks about the Wandering Days. However, Harfoots are indeed hobbits. Tolkien makes this abundantly clear in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, where he writes on page 3, before the crossing of the mountains, the hobbits had already become divided into 3 somewhat different breeds: Harfoots, Stores, and Fallowhides. The Harfoots were browner of skin, smaller, and shorter, and they were beardless and bootless. Their hands and feet were neat and nimble, and they preferred highlands and hillsides. He later notes that Harfoots had much to do with dwarves in ancient times, and long lived in the foothills of the mountains. They moved westward early and roamed over Eriador. Sorry, I'm having a problem pronunciating that. As far as Weathertop, while the others were still in the Welderland. They were the most normal and representative variety of hobbit, and far the most numerous. They were the most inclined to settle in one place and longest preserved their ancestral habit of living in tunnels and holes. Clearly, Harfoots are indeed hobbits, despite Payne's claim to the contrary. One only need to have read the third page of the Fellowship of the Ring to have figured it out. Now, I'm sure this goes on much further, and it does. But to be honest, considering the way these people are talking and the trailers they've shown, I don't think anybody should expect any less than they're going to basically pull it out their butts instead of actually care about what came before. They don't care. They just, whenever you have their super fans, as they put them, talking about so much diversity and everything, and representation, and everything's representative, and it's just, I'm going to watch the show. I am going to hope I enjoy the show. As a bit of thing, I am going to attempt to do non-spoiler reviews about a half hour after watching each episode on the premiere. I'm going to try to I don't know how long the streams will be, but I'm going to try to have it about a half hour afterwards. I'll start a stream, try to do a non-spoiler review, and I may have a friend of mine join me in it and figure out what he sees compared to what I see. I want the show to be good. I don't have much faith in it, considering the words that have come out of a lot of the people's mouths, particularly like the directors, the writers, the actors and actresses, the trailers that don't even look or feel like Lord of the Rings. It looks like a generic fantasy series filled with names that Tolkien made. So I guess we'll see. I hope things turn out, but see if I can pull up the see if I can find any news on this. All right. Sorry. Oh, wait, ad. Go away, ad. No one wants ads. All right. Well, I guess we'll get to this one. Hope it shows up well. FX. No, this is on the Hollywood Reporter. Oh well, no, we don't want that one. That one's from February. But well, I guess you know what, we can go over the old one and see if there's any new stuff on it. So you got FX gives new details on Alien TV series, teases big surprises, the extension and reinvention of the franchise won't feature any familiar characters, says FX chief John Landgraf, but will think forward about the future of the planet in terms of the environment. And let me get rid of this little thing. FX gave new details about its highly anticipated Alien TV series from Fargo showrunner Noah Hawley. Yeah, we'll go with that. FX chief John Landgraf told reporters at the Television Critics Association press tour on Thursday that Hollywood shoot a new season of Fargo, which was just renewed for season 5 before Alien. We need to shoot Fargo this winter, so we'll be shooting Fargo before Alien, though we have more scripts for Alien than Fargo. And I said Noah is writing both right now. All right, so let me get to what that little details. Alien takes place before Ripley. He said it's the first story in the Alien franchise that takes place on Earth. It takes place on our planet near the end of this century. We're currently in 70 odd years from now. All I can tell you is Ripley won't be part of it, and neither will any other characters other than the alien itself, which doesn't really make sense. But you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to see if I can pull something up, because that kind of bugs me a bit. Let me see. Because blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, mind you, this article is from December of 2020, but it should kind of help on this, because they're how do I put it? Let's see if it finds this for me. If we have the date that the dates for certain things. You know what? We'll just go over the dates they have. Because I'm trying to figure out when, because they're saying that the alien is supposed to be on Earth. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to play with the timeline that they have. Because all right, we'll pull this back up. Okay. Now they're saying they hope. I hope they will feel like it's faithful to the franchise they love, but also a brave and original reinvention of that franchise. He continues, setting it on Earth is really interesting, except for when the question is when they hit Earth, because they decanonized Alien versus Predator. Okay. No, that's part of what's confusing me, and on how they're doing timelines here, and that's why I want to pull up a timeline. Hope you don't mind on that. Alien launched with Scott's iconic 1979 film set largely about a cargo hauling spaceship missed by a lethal stowaway. In recent years, Scott attempted to revive the franchise with mixed results, with the 2012 film Prometheus and its 2017 sequel Alien Covenant. Earlier Thursday, Landgraf announced that Fargo will return for season 5, saying only that the season will take place in a contemporary time period. Return to Upper Midwest to tackle. I don't care about Fargo. I'm sure there's people that do. I just don't. It never really looked like something interests me. But no, this is supposed to be around 70 years from now is when this is supposed to take place. here. The complete Alien timeline from Prometheus to Alien Resurrection with a Predator chucked into. Alright, so they're leaving Predator in on this list. I thought that one was thrown. I thought Ridley Scott said, screw that one. Anyways, the game was awesome. Alright, this is from 28th December 2020, so I'm sure updated timeline by now. While Ridley Scott's sequel to Alien Covenant is apparently on indefinite hold, the timeline for the franchise is open-ended. It's getting quite complicated. Alright, so let's just get to the list, because most of that stuff is, yes, it's complicated, because, well, the whole series is confusing, and then if you grab the comics, it gets even worse. 4 billion to 2 million BC, and alien race, later dubbed the Engineers, visit Earth and leave one of their own behind. His body breaks down after he drinks black goo, and his DNA enters the water, recombining to life, to create life. Okay. 35,000 BC, evidence of the Engineers in Scotland. Sorry, 35,000 BC, evidence of Engineers in Scotland. 3,590 BC, Sumerian evidence of engineers visit to Earth. 2470 BC, Egyptian evidence of engineers visit Earth. 1540 BC, Babylonian evidence of engineers visit to Earth. 8th century BC, the Prometheus myth about a titan who brought man to life from clay and stole the secret of fire from the gods first appears in Greek mythology. 620 BC, Mayan evidence of engineers visit to Earth. 1st century AD, the engineers prepare a death ship filled with jars of black goo to send to Earth in order to destroy their wayward children, humanity. The decapitated engineer found by the Prometheus crew on LV-223 was carbon dated to 2,000 years before, give or take. 1990, Peter Weyland, the man who will create the Weyland Corp, is born. 2004, aliens and predators do stuff together. If you've seen AVP films, then you'll know it's best we move on. I agree with that. In 2012, Peter Weyland founds Weyland Corp, the company behind so many doomed space missions. 2023, Weyland gives a TED Talk, see below. Yeah, I forgot about that. Around 2030, Weyland creates David, an android, played by Michael Fassbender in Prometheus and Alien Covenant. In 2080, Dr. Elizabeth Shaw and Charlie Holloway discover evidence of star maps from Babylonian, Sumerian, Mayan, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian eras. In 2089, Shaw discovers another star map or invitation in a cave on the Isle of Skye, Scotland. 2091, the USCSS Prometheus, a space exploration ship built by Weyland Corp, leaves Earth on its journey to LV-223. Oh, sorry, cat just knocked over something on my foot and tried to break it. Okay, in 2092, Ellen Ripley is born on Earth, January 7th to be precise. Then you have 2093. All but 2 of the USCSS Prometheus crew are killed after an encounter on LV-223 with an alien species and a revived engineer. The ship is destroyed, and Dr. Shaw and a severely damaged David leave on an engineer ship to find the engineer's homeworld. 2094. Shaw presumably rebuilds David, and according to David's testimony in Alien Covenant, he and Shaw arrive at Paradise, a planet home to millions of engineers who uses their ship's toxic black goo payload to destroy the entire population. Awful friendly. 2104 Covenant, a colonization ship carrying thousands of humans and embryos, takes a detour to an unnamed planet, Paradise, on its way to terrible names. There, the crew discovered David and a new species of neomorph. After the incursion on the planet, where the majority of the crew are killed, David is revealed to have bioengineered aliens as we know them. He brings their embryos on board alongside the human embryos. The ship continues its journey to the planet that I can't pronounce. Sorry. Mystery Era, which a Covenant sequel would presumably occupy. 2120, space vessel Nostromo leaves Earth. 2122, after detecting a signal, Nostromo lands on planetoid LV-426 after being infected by an alien facehugger. Executive Officer Kane, played by John Hurt, an alien, dies when an alien bursts through his chest. It picks off the crew one by one, leaving Ripley and Jones, the ship's cat, alive. 2179. After drifting in stasis for 57 years, Ripley is rescued, but returns to LV-426 because contact with the new human colony there, Hadley's Hope, has been lost. Arriving with a military squad, they find the sole human survivor, Newt. More facehuggers, a swarm of aliens, and a pretty badass queen. Ripley escapes with Newt, Corporal Hicks, and Android Bishop. He heads back to Earth in the Sulaco? Sorry. I said very terrible names. There must be at least 2 facehuggers on board, though, and as they sleep, one impregnates Ripley with a queen. A fire starts somehow, and the human's life pod ejects, landing near a penal colony on Fiorina, 161. Only Ripley and one other facehugger survive. Ripley kills the resulting alien, then dies by offing herself by jumping into a furnace. 2379. The United Systems military clone Ripley and her biopassenger from medical samples saved from Fiorina 161. They surgically removed the alien queen in order to breed the species, which escape on board the Ariga, whatever, killing many. The ship crashes into Earth's atmosphere and blows up. The Ripley clone, meanwhile, escapes aboard the Betty with the android Call. Well, okay, so we have a bit of a convoluted line here, but you know, it's just the way of things. And I'm going to see if I can find more recent news, because I was hearing some rumblings. There was some Is this? No, that's definitely not it. Can you give me one moment? I got to remove a cat real quick. I will, and I need to stretch my legs. Just give me a few moments. I am sorry to do this. See if I can. Well, you know what? Just give me a moment to remove the cat. Okay, that should work it. Let's see. Where was I? Now let's turn to. Well, I guess this is the best place to go for this. This is more recent news. This is fans will be caught off guard by new Alien series could wipe prequels from canon. This is August 9th by Daniel Roberts and this is on InsideTheMagic.com. As Prey 2022 turns Hulu and Disney Plus into a hunting ground, fans of the Predator franchise couldn't be happier. In fact, many fans and critics alike are even saying that it's the best entry since the original in 1987. The original 1987 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I guess I can go over somewhat of a review in a little bit. Well, at least I'll go over the timeline of Predator and maybe a little bit of a review. But now that expectations for future Predator movies are undoubtedly a lot higher than they have been in recent years, it's likely the fans will expect the same from all the upcoming Alien projects too. After all, both franchises and their respective fandoms are closely related. Let's see if I can get to the news. Now, we already know about, you'll be pleased to know that a new Alien movie is on the horizon, but more interestingly, there's also, maybe I can find the new Alien movie news on that. You get the TV series that we talked about, the Fargo guy. Well, there are a number of live-action Alien shorts on YouTube, courtesy of 20th Century Fox, during the 40-year anniversary of the original film back in 2019. The Alien TV series, which is being made on FX Hulu, marks the first for the franchise that first hatched with Ridley Scott's Alien in 1979. Following several delays due to the coup, the Alien TV series will start filming sometime next year during the ongoing Television Critics Association tour, which is virtual due to the coup. When was this done? This is this year. Wow, that's sad. The chairman, Alright, FX chairman John Landgraf discusses the upcoming limited series. So it's a limited series. He says, I'm a big fan of Alien and Aliens. And I remember watching both of them in the theater and how shockingly original and surprising each of them was in its own way. And so, similar to his approach to Fargo, Noah decided to not take Ripley or any character from Alien except perhaps the xenomorph itself, but go back and figure out what made the franchise so great and so durable in the first place, and see if he could find an experience that felt like walking into a theater and seeing one of those first two movies where you get caught off guard. Now, before we go any further, I kind of, now, maybe it's just me, I kind of hope they go like they did the original Alien as far as the way they treat Alien. You know, the creeping threat, something that keeps tension. Because the more you see them, the less. All right, you're going to get tense scenes, but the less chance you're going to get to startle people. You know, and it's sort of like Jaws was in many ways. It was a blessing for Steven Spielberg that Bruce the mechanical shark didn't work right because they had to use him so minimally that it was just this constant looming threat. And that's the way I figured that the alien should be treated in this. It would keep the tension, and it would. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying don't have scenes where you're going to be having to fight them and everything, but I'm saying for build-up sake, because you're going to have to cap it off somehow, considering it's a limited series. Many fans have been calling for a direct sequel to James Cameron's Aliens 1986 for a long time, and one which would ignore every sequel, prequel, and spin-offs, and much like David Gordon Green's Halloween 2018 does with its respective predecessors. Previously, District 9 director Neil Blomkamp was poised to direct such a film, but sadly it never saw the light of day. But it looks like an Alien TV series might finally give fans what they want, although it definitely won't be a sequel. The Alien TV series will be set on Earth in the near future before Alien, but as it will feature xenomorphs as confirmed by Landgraf. How it will fit into the Alien timeline is a mystery, as we already have two prequels that predate the 1979 film. As such, it's possible the show will retcon those entries. After all, not once does the xenomorph ever appear on Earth in Ridley Scott's prequels, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which both explore the origins of the titular alien. With that said, there are 20 years between Covenant and Alien, so it's possible the Alien TV series will take place during this time. Now, yeah, we're just going to read the next quote. I'd suggest actually going to this website, Inside the Match. They get some pretty good articles, and this is a pretty long one. And all right, we're going to go for Noah Hawley. The statement that made by Noah Hawley discussing the project, talking about how the original movies has offered plenty of inspiration. So those are great monster movies, but they're not just monster movies. They are about humanity trapped between our primordial parasitic past and our artificial intelligence future. And they're both trying to kill us. Here you have human beings, and they can't go forward, and they can't go back. So I find that really interesting. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping that if they're going to use it, they're going to treat it like a looming threat. Is something I'd hope for. Not that you don't utilize it and show it, but don't overuse it and completely burn out any real suspense, because that's, maybe it's just me, but I like suspense more than anything. Slashers bore me. But let's see. Oh, before I go any further, let's see if they released any more information on the Pathogen DLC for Alien Fireteam Elite. Sorry, sorry, I'm trying to pull up the because I want to see the exact date anyways, whenever alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, Aliens Fireteam Elite Pathogen releases August 30th. Let's see if there's, the Pathogen expansion is a paid DLC coming August 30th that adds 3 exclusive story missions featuring a new threat to keep fire teams diving back into this intense alien experience. Players will explore uncharted locations, battle terrifying enemies, and discover this new source of peril. A little thing here. Something sinister has evolved in the wilds of planet LV-895, and not even xenomorphs are safe from its ravages. The crew of the Endeavour must venture into uncharted lands and face new terrifying enemies. They hope to discover the source of the mysterious menace. Pathogen adds new tools of war for your Colonial Marine, including new ability replacer perks for each class kit, new weapons, and more. It also includes even more options to further customize your Colonial Marine and your guns. Wish it can't tell me how much it's going to cost. You know, I don't want to click on Steam because I don't have it on Steam. You know what? Oh, forgive me. I'm going to. Oh, sorry about that. Did not expect that. I'm going to. I don't know if I've done the trailer before or not, but I'm just kind of curious. Maybe some more information on it. So, I guess here we go.
Was that a Xeno?
The corpse was definitely a xenomorph, slain in combat.
My God. Are those engineers? What killed them? And how?
Alright, let's. But you know, it didn't really tell us the price or anything, but well, at least we know it comes out the 30th. I'm trying to. I'll have to look it up on the Xbox later on the price on it. Anyways, sorry if that was too loud or anything on the trailer for it. Please forgive me for that. So on the let's not go over that one. It's kind of creepy. No. And crud. Oh. Apparently things are going haywire in there. Alright. This is something, it's a little different than entertainment, but in many ways I kind of find it funny. And I shouldn't find it funny, but I do.
Michael Bennett, though,
stop it.
He votes with the Democratic Party.
Oh, you bastard ad. Sorry. Yeah, here, have an unskippable ad. That's good. Sorry about this. I'm going to. Alright.
Michael Bennett, though, he votes.
Can you go away? No one likes you. Alright. Oh, sorry. Bloody ads. Well, kind of is important with this one. Okay. Now, there's a YouTuber I watch. I watch him every Saturday or anytime he really streams. The Ancient Order of Men, and he has a character. If you look it up, it's Max Rhino. And I saw this earlier today, tonight, and it was today, earlier today, and it kind of reminded me of that character because of the absurdity of the person. So we're going to go into it. Now this has this unfortunately is on Fox, but it's the best article for it I could find at the moment. Senator Bennett's midterm ad depicts him as an outdoorsman, but it was filmed on a 24-hour fishing license. Senator Bennett is battling Republican nominee Joe O'Dea in the midterm races. You know, I don't really want to get too political on this. It's just the on my channel, but you know, at times I'm going to do it. If people seem to have a taste for it, I will, to an extent, I will give opinions. Like there's plenty I have on the raid of Mar-a-Lago, because that extends far beyond politics there. That it crosses some lines that really didn't need to be crossed. And let's just hope that they explain themselves thoroughly. Otherwise, they're going to lose all faith from a whole bunch of people, and that's not good. Anyways. Sorry, I had to take a drink. A second campaign ad for Democrat U.S. Senator Michael Bennett features the Colorado senator on a fishing expedition with an unaffiliated voter in an apparent effort to show the wealthy businessman as an outdoorsman. But he reportedly bought a 24-hour fishing license to shoot the ad. Bennett is seeking to appeal the to more outdoorsy working class Americans ahead of November midterms went fishing in the new ad, Real Focused. Following its release, Axios reported Bennett purchased a 24-hour license just for the day of filming. According to the Colorado Parks and Wildlife website, there are several options for Colorado residents seeking to purchase a fishing license, including a 1-day, 5-day, and annual pass. He's always focused on Colorado. He's leading the fight to defend our way of life, protecting our public lands, promoting forest and watershed health, and supporting businesses like really? How much do you pay you for this, anyways? I know everybody knows that all politicians are basically. All right, let's put it this way: they'll say whatever it takes to get anybody to vote for them. They'll do whatever it takes to get anybody to vote for them because they know it's very profitable for them. And quite frankly, oh, look, I'm a normal person just like you. I'm a regular person. No, you're not. You're a scumbag, willing to manipulate everybody, or try to, but somehow, it's like on this one. At the end of the ad, Bennett announced he caught the fish seen in the spot. Yeah, unfortunately, I know a little something about that little trick. You see, my grandfather, he ran a fishing lodge down in Florida, and some of these nice television fishers, not all of them, but some of them, and some of these outdoors people would go through, and they would go to some of the local fishing lodges and see if they could hire people to go out and try to catch the biggest fish they could. Then basically, now mind you, this was many years ago. This was back in the 80s, and I'm sure they still did it in the 90s and later, but they would pay people to go out, catch the fish, come back, and basically they'd hook the fish in a way that it wasn't going to escape, and then release it back into the water to run off, and then they pretend to fight it back. Not saying that's all of them, but that was quite a few of them. Not going to mention who, but do have pictures. Anyways, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's how it's going to work. But both of them are doing it. All of them are doing it. I'm sorry, that's just the way it works. They will lie through their teeth. They will do whatever it takes to get you to vote for them, and then as soon as you vote for them, you're done. They don't need you anymore. They toss you off to the side. That's just the way these people work. I have never, and I've met quite a few in person, just for different accidental reasons, and not any political thing, just random. They weren't doing anything with cameras or anything. It was purely by accident I met them, and they were some of the most horrible people I've ever met. I don't trust any of them, and that's every angle of them. But it reminded me of Max Rhino from the Ancient Order of Men. Please look them up. But that's the first thought that popped into my head. Let's see. Now I could go over Prey if you want. If anybody's there and wants it, I could go over it. Look, I'll give you a brief summary. Story-wise, for me, was weak. But what do you expect? It doesn't really need to be much of a story whenever it is a gigantic, basically unstoppable for the most part alien that its entire culture exists to hunt you and hunt others for trophies. Its entire existence, as far as I is based upon hunting more and more challenging prey. Let's see if I can. See if I can pull up a timeline for these. Maybe it'll be interesting. But no, the movie was entertaining. There were things. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie. It's not, but it's an entertaining movie. The thing with though is, yeah, it tries to throw in a few member berries like like the pistol in there, stuff like that. But weak story I can get past. The thing that bothered me was the model for the Predator's face. It is. I wasn't fond of the helmet, but I could live with the helmet. But whenever he took off the helmet, the face is messed up. I'm sorry, maybe it's because I like the original so much, the original design so much. But I really didn't like the model of that. And always be. I mean, it could have been worse. I've definitely seen things done worse, but dang. But you know what? I guess we'll go over a timeline of Predator. This one's on Digital Spy. It's let me see if I can. All right, thank you, mouse, for dying on me. I've got to change batteries after the stream. Having these wireless right now. All right. Now this is complete Predator timeline explained. Yes, including the Alien crossover movies by Ian Sandwell. Okay. Now we're going to skip most of it and just get to the meat and bones for the timeline. Now this one you have like 1719 Prey. The prequel movie is now chronologically the first in the series despite being the most recently released. It follows Naru as she attempts to prove herself as a hunter, which, like I said, I didn't particularly. I mean, I'm not saying that. I guess it depends on what version you watch of it. I'm going to try to see if I can find the other version, because the one where it's in English, it sounds like the way they're talking and everything sounds like you grabbed them, like you went to a high school and grabbed some people trying to describe things on TikTok. Okay, just some of the lines didn't fill in place when translated. But that's neither here nor there. But all right. But you know, the movie largely follows the structure of the first movie, as the Predator offs a bunch of foolish contenders before finding its match. And Naru, she outsmarts the Predator and kills it. Yeah, rinse, repeat. Naru also brings back a pistol, which is the same one we'll see later in Timeline Predator 2. Where we'll discuss that later whenever they get to it. We have the original one, our introduction, which was in '87. We have introducing Elite Hunting Machine. Introduction of the Elite Hunting Machine came in a Central American jungle as Dutch Arnold Schwarzenegger and his military rescue team come face to face with the Predator. Dutch's whole team are offed in various ways, and then after a bloody and brutal bout, Dutch bests the Predator, who activates a self-destruct switch that basically a nuclear explosion. Dutch gets to the chopper with guerrilla fighter Anna and presumably lives happily ever after. The Predator director Shane Black tried to get Arnie back for his movie, but understood why he didn't want to do what was essentially a cameo role. He hasn't rolled out a return in the future, though, so we may catch up with Dutch. Look, alright, this is what I'm talking about. This is more the model that everybody recognizes. It's been used for years. And then when I wish they had to have showed the face on here, but I think there's a reason why they don't. On their thing for Prey. You have Predator 2, which poor Danny Glover. Well, not so much. He kind of went off the deep end. But 10 years later, we move from Central American jungle to Los Angeles, and a different predator gets involved in a turf war between rival drug cartels. The story was really better in Prey than there was for Predator 2. I'll give them that. That was pretty rough, but you know, it's still kind of entertaining at times. This brings him to the attention of Lieutenant Michael R. Harrigan, who the Predator decides to play with by killing everyone closest to him. What a joker. Harrigan is then informed by Special Agent Peter Keyes, played by Gary Busey. I forgot Gary Busey was in that. About what exactly has been hunting him. And a trap is set. And it went on. You have Harrigan is victorious, and because of this, an honorable lot, the other predators on the ship let Harrigan live and give him an antique pistol as a trophy. This pistol is now received from a trapper in Prey. I guess that means they're going to make a sequel so they can bump her off so the alien gets it back, I guess. That makes sense to me. Raising the question, I'll probably get it back from her. See? There's little plot holes like that. I guess they could be setting up a sequel just to do that, you know. Not sure why, but okay. Then you have the ones that people don't want to remember, Alien vs. Predator, then Alien vs. Predator Requiem, which well, although slightly more amusing than Alien vs. Predator, I'm not going to say it was good. But the Requiem was slightly more amusing, and actually did something that you normally don't see, which is within the first few moments, as Mighty Jingles pointed out, they off a child. They just face hugger off the child. Okay. That pesky Predalien doesn't take long to make it, the Predalien, which, I mean, I get it. The face hugger got a hold of and infested the Predator, and whatever the alien infests, whatever the little thing infests, the xenomorph that comes out gains some of the attributes of the host, which explains the mouth going more, opening. But it's kind of hard to describe it. It was, really, then they nuke everything, so, yeah. And scene now means nothing. Due to Scott's retconning of the franchise, the Predator's weapon is taken to Miss Utani, Francesco, an act that's meant to set up the Alien movies. Okay. Then you have 2010 Predators. The only Predator movie so far to not take place on Earth. Predator sees a group of soldiers, murderers, and other criminals forced together on a planet that acts as sort of playground for two groups of predators. No, isn't that fun? I forgot all about that movie. I'm not going to say much on it because I really don't. I'm just going over the timeline, but then you have the 2018 The Predator, which I honestly have not sat down to watch that one either. I probably could, but do I really want to? Well, it's on Prime. Well, if it's free to watch, I may end up watching it. But that's where we stand there for the timeline. But yeah, Prey is not a bad movie. Please, it's not a bad movie. It's I don't know how to put it. It's somewhat entertaining. I mean, yeah, there's some cool scenes like fight with a bear. That was cool. Or some of the gadgets he's using to slaughter hordes of people. That's cool. But really, the story's kind of weak. I would suggest watching it. You should be able to. Maybe you'll find more entertainment out of it than I did. I hope you do. I mean, it was just the story wasn't there for me, but I did enjoy the action a lot. So there's some. I mean, granted, the main character has plot armor that's about as thick as a freight train, but she's not what would be typically called a Mary Sue. She's not perfect. She screws up. She's flawed, but somehow things you can tell they could have adjusted things slightly, and it probably wouldn't have seemed so heavy looking on the plot armor without detracting from it. But it's adequate. If you want a better review of it, by far better review, you could watch. You could go watch The Critical Drinker. He's definitely one to watch. Film Threat, because Chris Gore gives a really good review of it. I mean, there's multiple others out there that you're gonna get from all sides of it, but watch it before you watch the reviews, because well, even if you already watched the reviews and you decide not to watch it anyways. You may find a few laughs in it at some of the goofiness in some parts. But let's see. All right, let's see if there's any news on oh boy, that's oh, this is not good. But we're gonna I guess this will be the last one to go over for tonight. Well, I could probably go a little longer. I just need to stretch around a little bit, but let's get this over with. I'm sorry, I'm just not enthusiastic on this part, and I'll explain why in a moment. Yeah, Disney Plus ad plan price and launch date set along with fee hikes for Disney Plus Premium Hulu. Yeah. This is by Todd Spangler on Variety. This came out a couple hours ago, according to the thing. Disney has set pricing and date for the U.S. launch of the version of Disney Plus with ads. while also hiking the monthly price of both Disney Plus tier with no ads. It's also going to raise rates for Hulu, both ad-supported and ad-free versions, and introduce new Disney bundle options. Disney Plus Basic, which is the name of the plan with ads, will launch December 8th in the US for $7.99 a month. That's the price of the current ad-free version of Disney Plus, which at that time will bump up to $10.99, a 38% increase, and will be known as Disney Plus Premium. The ad-supported version of Disney Plus will include all the same content that is available in the ad-free tier, although some titles may not run advertising according to the company. Okay. Disney Plus will launch with about 4 minutes of ads per hour. It will start with 15 and 30-second spots, but will expand to a full suite of ad products over time. Disney advertising sales president Rita Ferro said at an investment conference this spring, Disney Plus with ads will not accept political or alcohol ads, nor will it run ads in kids' profiles or against preschool programming. The company expects that the majority of Disney Plus customers will opt for the cheaper ad-supported plan over time, similar to Hulu, which has 2/3 of its subscriber base on ad-supported plans. The strategy appears aimed at mitigating Disney Plus subscriber irritation over the price hike on the no ads plan and the inevitable cancellations with the intro of Disney Plus Basic at the same price point, albeit with ads stuck into the mix. Meanwhile, as of October 10th, Disney will increase the price of Hulu with ads from $6.99 to $7.99 per month, while the ad-free tier will go from $12.99 to $14.99 per month. The Disney bundle in the US, Hulu with ads, Disney Plus, no ads, ESPN Plus, will go from $13.99 to $14.99 per month. The premium version of the bundle, Hulu, no ads, Disney Plus, no ads, ESPN Plus, will remain at $19 per month. As previously announced, ESPN Plus rates will increase in August, going from $6.99 to $9.99 per month. With our new ad-supported Disney Plus offerings and an expanded lineup of plans across it. Well, isn't that just lovely? Okay, why it matters, I got somebody in the house that, I use Hulu. I hate to say it, even though I'm not a fan of Disney, I use Hulu. And somebody else in the house uses ESPN. And they use it quite regularly. And it was cheaper to do the bundle to have all three when we did it. So, looks like I'm stuck with it. But, dang it. That's just... it's just... Basic with ads, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus. So now Legacy, Disney Plus, no ads, Hulu with ads, ESPN Plus with ads, $14.99 per month. So it actually isn't shooting up too bad, I guess. Although I may just screw it and up it to no commercials. I don't know. I'll have to think about it and discuss. Big thing is I gotta look at my budget, but ouch. But that's rough. Did not need to see that. I was thinking there was gonna be some other interesting news. Maybe movie or a show or something. Not we're going to come after you for more money. In the end, they need to remember that I can live without those things. The people in this house, those are a comfort. I don't go to movies and stuff like that. It's just you are, and the worst part is these are the same. This is the same company that keeps going after people over and over again. They try to talk about, well, it's sort of like they took away for Middle Eastern release of some of their series, some of their shows and movies. They decided just not to include them over in the Middle East, or they censor things for the Middle East, or they censor things for a Chinese release, but they want to make sure that they're put here. And Disney and a lot of these other companies, oh well, you're everybody in this country that doesn't think like we do is ist or phobe or whatever, but they're dealing with terrible people. Oh, we'll censor for them because we don't want to hurt our bottom line. We got to make our money there. And eventually, people are just going to get fed up here, and I'm basically at that point. If it wasn't for the fact that I watch Orville and a handful of things on Hulu while somebody else in the house watches ESPN, and occasionally I'll look for an old Disney movie. If it wasn't for that, I'd find some other way to watch stuff. But anyways, actually, this is one last article that it's kind of interesting. This is on WDW News today. Of course, this was on August 8th. Wyoming Ranch, previously owned by Walt Disney family, is on the market for $71 million. Diamond G Ranch, which is about 17 miles west Du Bois and 23 minutes from Yellowstone National Park, is National Park is now available on the real estate market. The ranch's previous owners were Walt Disney and family, and current owner is Stephen M. Gordon, who purchased from Disney in the 1980s. Pretty looking area. Before the Disney family took over the Diamond G Ranch, owners of Morton Salt Company used the area as a hunting camp. In 1968, Retlaw Enterprises purchased the ranch from the Morton Salt Company. Retlaw is Walter spelled backward, and became accessible for the Disney family. Yeah. The ranch is constructed with a private road with no public access, surrounded by three sides of wilderness to get away. It is 5,000 acres and surrounded by Shore National Forest. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it, but it's a national forest on each of those three sides. The property contains a 5-bedroom lodge, a log guest house with an enclosed porch, and 2 log cabins. Wildlife such as elk, deer, antelope, mountain lion, and wolverine can be spotted on this unique property. They do have a video here, but I can't. You know what? I'll take, if he'll let me. I guess it won't. I guess they pulled the video. Well, that's a shame. I'd like to see all the different stills. Yeah, that would have been neat to see, but thanks. But, it's a beautiful looking area. kind of type of thing I like is being out in the middle of nowhere and trees and want more places to fish, but I'm sure you got plenty of that there too. But anyways, well, I think it's about time I call it. I thank you everyone very much for watching. I thank you for your time. As I stated before, starting September 2nd, whenever the premiere Rings of Power when Rings of Power premieres, immediately after each episode premieres, after I watch them, I will be doing about half hour after, I will be doing a live stream, non-spoiler review, and hopefully I'll have a friend of mine with me, so I can get his take as well. And that will happen every once a week until it's over. I think there's like 8 episodes for the first season, if I remember correctly. But anyways, I working on getting a new mic, because I'm just using a $10 headset I got from Five Below. By the way, I thank you very much for your time. If you would, please consider liking the video because on the replay, or liking the stream. Leave a comment; it would be most appreciated. And if you think maybe I earned it, or you may want to see a review for the Rings of Power from somebody who's basically not one of the bigger ones, just subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will. I'm going to try to start getting more live streams in before then, so I can get more comfortable and adjusted, and get more adjustments done on my stream settings before this. So either way, I thank you very much for your time. And I will talk. I hope you have a pleasant evening, day, or whatever it is for you. And I will